Hello everyone, my name is Saurabh Kumar and I welcome you all to my video series of AWS training. Now we are in part number 32 and in this session we will be having a look about AWS CLI overview. So we will be talking about what is command line interface of AWS is, how does it look like, how do we access it, and thereafter we will also have some hands-on lab on it, like by using AWS CLI, how we are able to perform some of the actions, some of the tasks. So let's begin. So first thing we have to understand that nowadays all different vendors, those who develop or design operating system or any softwares, they are looking to have the command line interface. Like if we take example of Windows, if you're using Windows Server even, they are nowadays moving towards the command line interface because command gives you more power plus more option to perform very easily. Graphic is what? Graphic actually they developed. And if they develop, only those options appear. But if you get the command line access, you have the full privilege to perform any task. You have the full ability to do any task. So that's why for a beginner level, console is okay, graphic way is okay, but very advanced level if you want to go for in Windows also, you need to be an expert in PowerShell. You need to be expert in writing a script and running on your PowerShell or Windows CMD. Similarly, if you talk about Linux also, Linux they also prefer Linux shell where we have like Bash, ZSH, TSCH. These all are being used respectively on Linux, Unix, Mac computer. So now you see, this is what I'm talking about, that things are mostly dependent now on the command line interface. If you have done even the Cisco CCNA course, CCNP, CCIE, Cisco devices, Juniper devices, they all work on the command line interface because it gives you a better way to, control your device or to operate your task, to perform your task on any of the operating system, any of the device like that. And basically, if you're working in any enterprise company, they will be giving you generally command line interface to do the task activity on it. So generally, what do we use for remote terminal? We use PuTTY software. I hope you all are very much familiar with the PuTTY because PuTTY we use it to access Windows machine also, for Linux machine also, for Unix machine also, for Cisco routers, Cisco switches, ASA firewall, everything, whatever command line interface you want to have, you can use PuTTY. It requires just some IP address or the method what you want to use to access, and then the user credential. That's it. And then you will be able to successfully access the device or console of that device, and then you start performing your task. So by looking at this all things, by looking at these scenarios, AWS has also decided to go for the command line interface. So if we talk about the previous examination of SAAC01, there were no need of having any kind of knowledge on CLI. There was no any question coming from CLI side, command line interface side. But in the updated version, that is C02, which we are covering in our syllabus, that is SAS C02, certificate 02, and SAA for solution associate, solution architect associate. So that's why we are also going to have a look at the command line interface. That's why I have added here in this last session that let's try to have some information about the command line interface as well. So by getting inspired from such kind of things, AWS has also decided to go with the CLI, and they up to now they have two versions. So because they introduced with the version 1, it was version 1 point something, 0 to 1 2 3. So this previous version of AWS CLI, that is still available to have or to provide you backward compatibility. But if you talk about the latest version, that is version 2.x. So if you are using AWS CLI latest one, it is version 2.x. and the commands almost they work on both. 90% commands they will be able to run on both version 1 and 2. Plus if you are trying to know about the installation method or accessing method, it will almost remain same, either you are using version 1 or either version 2. Next point about AWS CLI is that we have to understand what is the benefit of using AWS CLI. So first benefit, you can see that it support all AWS services, meaning that as many number of services are being offered by AWS till now, even if it is 5,000 type of different services, all of them can be managed through the command line interface. Like if we try to name some of the services which we covered in our syllabus, we covered VPC, we covered EC2, we covered S3 service, we cover cloud formation, we have covered CloudWatch, we have covered various number of things. We have talked about security group, we have talked about elastic IP address, we have talked about so many things like generating key or launching instance. So all those tasks which whatever we have learned up to now in this entire syllabus, those all tasks can be easily performed with the help of AWS CLI. That's the first benefit of it. Second is the installation is quite a smooth and simple. So I am going to show you practically itself, and you will understand how easy it is to just have the CLI at your Windows machine or Linux machine, where from you can easily access and control the AWS. You don't have to, you don't need even after that any browser and login credentials. Going through those buttons of login and typing the username and password. You can simply, I will be giving you the method what exactly you can use, and by that you can just access every services, everything you will be able to perform directly from your command prompt or your terminal of Linux. Next point is most of the AWS CLI users find it much faster than other platform. So whatever task, even if you will be performing, no, like creating any bucket, creating EC2 instance, or doing any activity, if you do, no, deleting something, you will find by yourself that yes, it is quite fast. It is a bit fast compared to any other method. Then it comes with a shell script also, so that let you automate the cloud infrastructure effectively. If you know the scripting languages, then you can have a script. Maybe you are keeping your script at S3 bucket, or maybe you are keeping it as a file, and you will be easily able to execute those script to do the automation task, so that the task will be performed automatically whenever the script will be executed. So I hope up to now everything is clear to you all that what exactly AWS CLI is. We have just talked a basic part of CLI, I mean theoretically, because it's more about practically, and that is what we are going to do in this session. We will be having directly, we will be going to the doing a hands-on on the AWS CLI. So if everything is fine up to now, that means we are ready to go for the next. Next thing is, here I have added the link. By using this link, you will be able to easily download the AWS CLI version 2.msi file. This is an MSI file which will be easily able to execute on the Microsoft operating systems, whatever after XP you have, Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10, Windows 10, any editions, so, or Windows Server. So you will be easily able to install this MSI file there, and after that your command prompt will allow you to execute any of the command which is helping you to perform the task on AWS. So let's have a look on it. Let's begin now practical. So now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to share a link with you all guys. This link can be very useful for you. So you can have a note of this link. This is docs, document related to AWS Amazon.com, related to CLI, latest user guide. And here it is giving me the detail how to install this CLI version 2 on the Windows. So if you click, Not only Windows, because if you reach to this page, you will be able to see, for example, if you want to install, update, or uninstall AWS CLI on Linux, click on this Linux button. So it will help you here that how you can install the relevant items on your Linux machine so that you can have an access of AWS. So here is the button, install the AWS CLI version on Linux 2. If you click on it, here is the just simple command. This is the command you have to execute actually at your Linux terminal. You see sudo dot slash AWS slash install. That's the command. So first you have to download this, and thereafter you will just run this command, and that's it. It will perform the task, and then your terminal will be ready to be used for AWS services. So here is the command line help. You can go through this page and you can get to know what exactly the process you have to perform. Similarly, if you want to go for Mac OS, you can just simply go to this link. If you want to go for Windows, you can go to this link. If you go to Windows, because why I'm going to look at the window, because right now I'm using Windows operating system. You can see my laptop is running Windows 10. So that's why I'm going to perform this practical here on it. So let me again show you what is the need when you are trying to have the AWS CLI at your Windows machine. So here it is telling me that there is some prerequisite. So what is the prerequisite is, you need to have any 64-bit version of Windows XP or later. So it can even support Windows XP and thereafter any operating system, those who are 64-bit. Admin rights you need to have, because obviously you are going to install an software, and the software link is here. You can simply click to this link and it will start downloading. So this is version number 2. Here it is version, a specific version 2.0.3.30.msi. So you can simply go to any of this link to download that MSI file. For me, let me go with this. So if I click on this link, it will start downloading here. You see it is 25 MB file which will be downloaded. So that is the first task I have to perform if I want to have the command line interface of AWS on my Windows machine. I need to download this MSI. Secondly, once it will be downloaded, once it will be completed downloading process, then we go to the folder. I guess it's still downloading. Just wait for a moment to get it completed. So once it will be completed, we will be going to the folder of it. Here it is, AWS CLI version 2. We can simply execute from here itself. Double click on it. Now this is the wizard. It is going to give to perform the installation process of it. So again I'm repeating, what we are doing right now is we have just downloaded the MSI file which allow AWS command line interface version 2. So I'm just installing it. Go with the next, accept the license agreement, next. Here continue with the default option, that is C program file Amazon AWS CLI version 2. This is the location, default location. I go with the default, click on install, and now it is going to just do the installation task. So here it is copying the file and performing the installation task of AWS command line interface version number 2. Now once it will be installed, you see here it is giving me the final message to click on finish to done. Now we can simply open the command line. This is my command line of my Windows machine, simple. You can see C user Saurav. So now here what we are going to do, that if you want to test that has it really installed, or maybe if you want to see the version or something, you can run a command AWS here, AWS a space minus version. So the command is AWS space hyphen hyphen version. If you use this command, here it is telling me it is having AWS CLI 2.0.54. It is using Python 3.77 and it is running on Windows 10 like this. So this way I will be able to understand that either the AWS has been properly installed on my computer or not. If your computer has not installed it, if you are just having a window machine where you haven't installed AWS CLI, if you run this command there, it will be telling you that command not found or something similar to that. Now we are going to perform the next task here. If you want to just know that where exactly this AWS is installed, if you remember when I was installing, I shown you the path as well, which was in C drive, program file, Amazon folder, AWS CLI version 2 folder. So if you want to test from here itself, you can run the command. That command will be where a space AWS. Where is AWS? So if you just type where a space AWS, hit enter. Here you see it is giving me the path that it is stored in C program file Amazon AWS CLI version 2 aws.exe. As simple as that. You can check it graphically also that it has been installed in my C drive. Where exactly? C drive program file, and then after you have to look for Amazon, then you will get a folder AWS CLI version 2 and here it is installed. So I hope everything is fine now. Now we will be able to execute all the tasks, we will be able to perform all the tasks from here itself. Next point is, now how we are going to access the AWS console. For that obviously we need an user account, like the way we have already root user account. Similarly we can access through root also, or maybe with the others. So generally root will not be working here. Better idea is you create any other user account. Like if you have IT person, for them you create a user account. If you have a sales or maybe IT administrator, you have 3, so maybe Peter, John, Mark. So you will have to create for them different user account or different group with different roles, responsibility, policies, and then you will give them access. So that is what we are going to perform as a next task. At the same time, let me give you one more option here, that maybe in case of something which maybe if you are trying to install and if it doesn't perform well, or if it gives you an error, you can also use one method, that is you can go to my computer property, and therefrom you will be also able to check that how it is, or you will be able to manually add there. So if I go to, for example, my computer, I go to my computer property, and then I go to advanced system setting. You go to environment variable. You can look at the path option, double click maybe here, and you can manually also add the path here, the path of your environment variable for this AWS CLI. I'm telling you that this one will require in case if it is after installation not working or something happening, then you can try this method as well. But for us it doesn't require, because we have tested and it looks everything is fine. Here everything is working fine. So we are already able to test. We can anytime open our CMD and we can test simply here AWS a space hyphen then version, and we are able to see that yes, it is running there. Now to perform accessing and do any task, what we need is we need an user account. So let's perform that task. So now I'm going to go with the first of all my AWS account, because for that I need to have at least one user account, then I will be only able to perform the connecting through command line. So the first task what I am going to do is I go to the services in IAM. Why I'm going IAM? Because I need to create an user account. Again, I'm repeating this one. I am doing graphically because I have to perform the first task graphic. But once I have even a single user account, next time I don't need to come to the console. Even creating user account and everything we can perform through the command line interface. So what first thing I'm going to perform here, that let us create a group here maybe. So I have already one group, but let's leave it. Let's create one new group. Create new group, and maybe I give the group name that is IT admin group 01. I am creating a group first, that is IT administrator group 01. What permission you want to give to this group? So maybe I want to give full permission as an administrator, so I choose administrator access. This is the policy I am giving. Next step. So I am creating a group IT admin group 0. Policy is this one, administrator access I have given. Create the group. So now we have a group for IT administrator. Maybe I have 5 employees in my company, those who are going to be IT administrator, and I want to give them full right. They can create EC2 instances, they can launch instance, they can create security group, they can create key, they can generate the key, they can create bucket, anything. So now I have created the group. Now I'm going to do next task, that is let's create some user account. So I have one user account, let's leave it like that. Let's create other user account. So maybe I use an user account here, that is, let's say that I'm using the user account name, that is Paul. So this Paul is my user account. I want to give maybe Paul permission to access my AWS resources through the programming access as well as from the console. What password Paul will have? So maybe I give a manual password, that is maybe like this. And thereafter I am going to uncheck this option. I don't want Paul to change the password maybe next time, so I just leave it like this. Next permission. So I want to give him, I want to make him member of IT admin group. Any tag if you want to give it, otherwise leave it blank, it is optional, and create the user. So what we have done up to now is we have just created a Paul user account, and Paul is what actually? Paul is a IT administrator. So can he access now my AWS services through the command line? Answer is yes. So for that purpose only we have created this user account. So now to get the detail about Paul, we need just these two things, access ID and secret access key. This is the two information only I need. So either I copy from here, that is one option, or either I download this CSV, it's same thing. So let me download, and if you open, it can show you that the same information it has. Username is Paul, password it will not be showing here, access key is this one, and secret access key is this one, and then console login link is this one. If he want to log in through the browser, he will type this in a URL, then the username and the password. Am I clear? So now next thing, that if he want to access AWS service through command line, then what he has to do? So now I am assuming that I am Paul and somebody else was root who has created my user ID. So my name is Paul. He will give me this file, this Excel file. He will share with me this CSV file. He will share with me. So I know what is my username, what is my access ID, what is my secret access key, and what is my console link. So now being a Paul, how I am going to access the AWS? That's the next task we are going to perform. So I am going to perform simply opening the command line interface of my computer, because I am assuming I am a Paul. So I just access my command prompt. There I can just go to maybe main page also. That will be easy, just to, it will look okay. So now I am at my command prompt. There, if you want to access AWS service on your command prompt, very first task you have to perform here, the command is AWS space configure, as simple as that. AWS space configure. Just hit enter, and now you see it asks you your access key ID. So who am I? My name is, for example, Paul. So what is my access key ID is this one. So I need this access ID to be copied, and I will paste it here. As soon as I paste the access key ID, or I type the access key ID, next question it is asking me secret access key, this one. So every user will have a separate access key ID and specific secret access key also. So now let's get a copy of secret access key, and then I paste it here. Now it is asking me, you want to access the services of which region? By default it is going with a US East 1. That's, if you remember, that is North Virginia. Now if your maybe region is something different, maybe you are accessing in Mumbai, or maybe you are accessing in let's say that Ohio, so your region name will be changed, and that one you have to type manually. How you can get to know the region name? If you remember, every time when we access the console also, we have to make sure the region. So if you go to region like US East 1, that is for North Virginia, US East 2 is for Ohio. So same like that, maybe if my region is something else, maybe I am in Mumbai, so I will be using AP-South-1, that will be my region. But let me continue with the North Virginia itself. So for that, I can either type it, or either even if I don't type, that's the default it has taken. You see here, that's the default. So even if I just hit enter, it will be going to that region. So I just go with the default. Now it is asking me default output format, meaning that if you execute any command or something, what will be the output, how the output you want to be displayed on the screen or something. So let me go with the JSON itself. In case if it is not showing you there anything, you can type here also JSON, because you remember JSON is a scripting language which is very helpful here. So you can go with the JSON. And once you have answered these 4 questions, so what are the 4 questions was needed? Access key ID, secret access key, default region name, and then default output format. After answering this 4 query, now you have again reached to C drive. Looks like you are at your Windows machine C drive, but actually not really that. You will be now able to perform any task on your AWS. So now we can test it also by doing some activity on our AWS. Let me first go to my console and I show you something there. So let us go to my console. Let me start with maybe S3 service. So let us go to S3 service and let me check how many number of buckets do I already have. Do you see how many buckets actually I have? 1 bucket is there. That is what I am checking from the graphic console, right? From my browser. If you want to perform this same task from the command line, how you are going to perform this task? So now we go to the command mode and we can simply execute some command which will help me to know how many total number of maybe bucket I have with my S3 service. So let us try to check. If you want to list all the bucket, you can simply execute here command AWS space AS3 space ls for list. As simple as that, like you are working on Linux machine. Simple. AWS S3 ls. I want to ls list all S3 buckets of my AWS. Hit enter and let's just wait for a moment to get the response, and it is telling me how many buckets are there. You have 1 bucket with the name CF template this in your US East 1 region. Is it right or wrong? That one you guys know better. So now if I maybe close this file even, and I be here like this, and then I open the console, graphic console, and if it is possible I make it like this. You will be able to see the result or outcome here. So how many buckets I have? I have one bucket. It is the same name it is displaying here, CF template, like that. So now you can understand somebody is accessing AWS through the browser as a console. He is also able to see how many buckets are there, and I can see also from my command prompt. Let's now do the next task. Maybe can I create a bucket through my command prompt? So let's perform that task also. Now to create a bucket, the command will be AWS a space S3 a space MB, and thereafter you will type S3 column / and then your name of the bucket, whatever bucket you want to create. So maybe I want to create a bucket with the name, let's say SKS bucket. That's my name. So SKS bucket 01. That will be my bucket name. Saurabh Kumar bucket 01. So now this is what I want to create, and we want to see the output. Let's perform this task. So after typing this command, I just hit the enter and wait for few seconds. You can see it has executed make bucket command with the name SKS bucket 01. Has it shown here? Not really, because I have to refresh. But why should I check even from here? Why not to just check from command prompt itself? So use the previous command AWS S3 ls, hit enter, and let's see how many bucket this time it is going to show. So this is showing me that this time now you have two bucket. One was CF template before, and now you have also have one more bucket, SKS bucket 01, which has been created at this time on this date. So I hope you have understood now how good or bad it is. Next we can check just to verify from graphic. Let's just refresh and we check how many bucket now it is going to show me. You see here exactly same task what we are doing here, it happened here. If you want to create one more bucket, simply use the same command. What was the command to create the bucket? AWS S3 MB S3 and bucket name. Maybe I create this second bucket, that is SKS bucket 02. Hit enter. So now the next bucket is going to be created, that is SKS bucket 02. If I want to list, this is the command AWS S3 ls. So now we have 3 buckets. Here if you want to check, just refresh the buckets and you see there are 3 buckets now. Now if I check in this bucket 01, for example, do I have anything inside of it? So right now there is nothing inside of this bucket. Now if I want to upload something, here, maybe I want to upload some file or something, how we are going to perform that task? So now this is the very simple method. If I want to upload something, right? So for that, let me perform one thing, that maybe I go here. Let me create some file maybe here. So I create here a new, let's say text file, give the name abcd. So this is my abcd.txt file. Inside of that, let me just type something. So this is maybe the file which I want to upload in my bucket. D drive abcd.txt is the file. This is what I want to upload. So now what will be the step to upload? Because we have just created the bucket. And we have how many buckets? We have here now 1, 2, 3 buckets. So maybe in this bucket I want to upload it in SKS bucket 01. So to uploading that file on any of the bucket, the command we are going to use here is, the command we are going to use, that is AWS a space S3, that's the service we are going to use. AWS space S3, then a space CP. CP is meaning here copy. What we are doing? Copy. Keep in mind every command is having a meaning. Like here you have AWS S3 MB. MB for create bucket. CP is here copy. So AWS S3 service copy. What I want to copy, so I have to define here the path of that file, D drive. The file name is abcd.txt. This is the file which I want to upload. Where? In my S3. And what is the my bucket name is SKS bucket 01. This is where I want to maybe upload the file. So I just write this command. I hit enter. And let's check here also. Up to now in the SKS bucket there is nothing. Once it is uploaded, now we can just refresh here to check. abcd.txt is uploaded there in my SKS bucket 01. We can even test from command prompt that this bucket SKS bucket 01 contains what kind of files or folder. So by that, for that the command will be like this: AWS a space S3 a space ls. If you just hit enter here, it will just show you all bucket. But if you want to see what is there inside of a single bucket, the command will be here like this: S3 column / your bucket name. So SKS bucket 01, hit enter, and let's see what are the content it has. So it has only one file, that is abcd.txt. What about SKS bucket 02? So 02, I think it's still blank. So if I hit like this, no any information has come. What if I want to upload any file in SKS bucket 02 now? Let me have any file. Maybe I use here a new file. The name is Saurav. So now how will I be able to upload this file there? What will be the command? So simply again I will be using AWS a space S3 CP copy. What I want to copy is D drive, and my file name is Saurav.txt. Maybe this is the file I want to upload. A space where I want to upload it or where I want to copy it. So this is S3, and my bucket name is SKS bucket 02. Before it gets uploaded, let me fast check about the SKS bucket 2. Is it containing something right now? Oh, it has already updated. So here it is having now saurabh.txt. We can check from here also. The command is AWS S3 ls bucket 02. It has the file. Let us just wait for a moment to get it completed. So yes, it has a file. The file name is saurabh.txt. So this way we have learned that how we can create a bucket, how we can list the bucket. If I want to list the bucket, AWS S3, then just ls. What you have in your S3? You have 3 buckets. If you want to list any specific bucket, we have also learned AWS S3 ls, and then here you are going to specify the bucket name. So this way you are able to get the information. Oh, okay, I did a spelling mistake here. So this way, up to now what we have learned, that we have learned how to create the bucket and all. Now if you want to maybe delete the bucket, so the command will be what? if you want to delete any specific object first, maybe I want to delete that abcd.txt file from my SKS bucket 01. So what will be the command? I will be using command aws a space as3 API, this time as3 API, and then you will say delete hyphen object. I want to delete the object from hyphen bucket. What's the bucket name? SKS bucket 01. That's my bucket. And key means the name of the file. What is the name of the file? Is abcd.txt. I want to delete an object, that is abcd.txt, from my bucket SKS bucket 01. Hit enter. And it's done now. We can test also. We can graphically test also that if I go to Amazon S3 now, SKS bucket 01, and if I refresh, bucket is empty. Now I have deleted that abcd.txt. So now I hope it's clear. If I want to repeat for you, let me perform the same task to delete my another file, which is saurav.txt, which is stored in my SKS bucket 02. So AWS S3 API delete object from the bucket SKS bucket 02, and the key name of the file is or object is saurabh.txt. Hit enter. Just wait for a moment and the file is deleted. We go there and we check here in SKS bucket 02. It was there. Refresh. Nothing. So this way we have performed some practical with the Amazon S3 service with the help of Amazon CLI, and I hope it's all clear to you all. Now next question comes in our mind, that what about if I want to delete even my buckets which I have created or which was already there. If I want to delete these buckets from my command prompt, what will be the steps? So let's perform, because we have created already 2 buckets. Why not to delete them also with the command prompt? So let's perform that task. For deleting these buckets, the command will be aws a space as3 API a space delete hyphen bucket a space. So what this time I'm saying delete bucket. Last time I used the command delete object. So I hope you understand now the difference. Delete bucket a space hyphen bucket, and then you will put the name of bucket. So which bucket you want to delete, 1 or 2, you will be just typing here the name of that. So SKS bucket, maybe let me first delete 0.01. So this is my bucket name. Thereafter, maybe if you are not in the same region, you remember when I was logging into the command mode, I define the region also. So maybe I am in different region, maybe I am in Mumbai region, and this bucket is maybe somewhere in the different region. It is maybe in Ohio or maybe in North Virginia. Then I have to define here the region also. Region, it will be like this. Region, a space, the region name, US hyphen East hyphen 1. That's the region where I want to delete this bucket, because this is the place where my bucket is. So this will require, this extra task will require if you are not at the same region. Maybe I am right now logging with the region of Johannesburg, and I am deleting a bucket which is stored in the North Virginia. Then I have to add this extra thing. Otherwise, if I am in the same region, I don't even have to mention that. I will just mention up to the name, hit enter, and now the deleting process will start. And it is already done. If it is next without any error, means task is already completed. Let's first list from here. AWS S3 LS. How many bucket now do I have? Only 2. CF template and SKS bucket 02. There is no SKS 01. Let's try to refresh here. You can see the result now. If I want to delete the SKS bucket 2 now, simply like that. And then I hit enter and my task is completed. You can refresh here also, gone. Here also if you check AWS S3 LS, now only one bucket it is going to show you, that is CF template. So now related to S3 we have seen various different practical of creating, listing bucket, uploading object, listing object, deleting S3 bucket. These all tasks we have performed with the help of command line. Now let us move to something maybe to EC2 instance, or maybe let's go to just EC2 console and let's try to perform some task here. Maybe let us create security group. You know security group, right? So how many security groups are there already? Let us first check. There is only one security group, that's the default one. Let us try to see, can we create a security group with the help of command line? Is it really possible or not? So let's try to perform this task. If you want to create a security group, simply what you have to mention here in the command that AWS a space, what the service we are going to use, it is EC2 service, it is not S3 service. So it is EC2 a space. What you want to do, create security group. This is what the task I want to perform, where -- group name. What group name you want to have? What is the name of group you want to have? So maybe I want to create a security group with the name of Saurav Kumar Group 01 SKGP1. This is the name maybe I want to give. Group name, this is the default. Similarly, I want to create one other, and here the name I want to display SKGP1. So if I want to create a security group with this name, I type the name here. Then you see here one more thing. It also shows you something like description. Say default VPC security group. So if you want to also add description here, add the description as well. -- description. What description you want to add? So maybe I want to add description that is Saurav Kumar GP01. That will be the description, detail of that group policy. Security group. Why I am using even GP? Why not SG, security group? So now this way I can give. Let me even use here the SK rather than using SKGP, SKSG. Saurabh Kumar Security Group 01. Saurabh Kumar SG01. That's the description I have added. And after adding this, if you just hit enter here, what will happen? It will just work, but it will not display anything here. So if you want to see the output of this command also in the JSON, you can add one more thing here, that is output space JSON. So it will display you the JSON code, what it is doing actually. So now let's try to hit enter and we see what happens. So now it is performing this task. This is simple JSON script to perform this task. It has just created a group with the group ID. This as a result, as an output, it is showing me here now. If you want to test, if you want to list how many security groups are there, the command is AWS EC2 describe. What I want? Describe security group. Describe security group. And maybe I want to see it as an output, as a file or a text. Sorry, as a text. I want to get this result in a text format. So I just say output as a text. I want to see describe all security group available in my EC2 console and I want to get this output in a text format. So let me just hit enter and wait for a moment. It is going to show me that there are two security group. One is SKSG01, the one which we have created, and one is the default one. The description is also there. The description is, this one is Saurabh Kumar SG1, this one is default VPC security group. You can check graphically also. Let's try to just refresh this page. How many security groups are there now? So let us just refresh and wait for a moment. And here we see one more security group there, SKSG01 with the description Saurabh Kumar SG01. So this way we have learned how to create a security group. Just for a revision purpose, maybe if I repeat these commands. So to create a group, this is the command. Maybe let's create one more group with the name SKSG02 this time. Description will be also 02. So this is the command to create security group. Hit enter. Done. Let's check it. How many security groups are there now? So there are three. Default one, SKSG1, SKSG2. Here also if you check, refresh in the console, you can see three security groups are. Now what you want to do next? Maybe you want to delete any one of them. Let us try to delete maybe any one of them. Let's try to delete SKSG02. How can we delete it? So simply the command for deleting the security group, we may use AWS a space EC2 a space delete. What you want to delete? So delete hyphen security group. Which security group you want to delete? So here you define the name, group name SKSG01 or 02. That's what we want to delete, SKSG02. So just define that name, and now let's try to hit enter. Now performed, it is done. You can verify from here also. Now how many security groups are there? Only two, default one and SKSG1. Here also you can refresh to verify. Default and SKSG01, that's it. So this way we have seen a lot of tasks can be performed very easily with the command line interface. Now let me perform the last task with the command. Maybe what if I want to launch a complete instance? Let's see. Do I have any instance running on this machine right now? No. So now let us try to see, can we launch a completely new instance here? Let's try to perform this task. So generally when we are launching an instance, what are the requirements are? Let's first try to have those all requirements. So first requirement is, we have to choose always when you go to launch instance, we choose the AMI, which AMI you want to use for running your launching your instance, Amazon Linux or Windows or what you want to run there. So maybe let me take example of the first one itself, Amazon Linux. So I have to be knowing already these things, that is my, so let me copy it and let me mention here what are the things we will be needed. So in Notepad, if it will be asking me about the AMI, so what will be the ID? I will be using this ID. Next requirement comes that, what is the next thing it comes here? If I select maybe this, next it asks me the instance type, right? It asks for instance type. Okay, so what instance type generally we use? T2.micro. So let us have a note of it. Instance type, maybe I want to execute, that is my T2.micro. Third next. next thing. What are the next important thing is, we go with the, after selecting it, we go to next. It asks me number of instance, how many you want to create, 1, 2, 3, 4. So number of instance, if it will be asking me, I will define number of instance, that I will use 1. All right. What next it asks me? It asks for me the subnet, network and subnet. So maybe I want to launch it in North Virginia. North Virginia subnet ID is what? So I can use maybe this one, US East 1C or 1E or 1V, any one of them. So let us try to have this name there in my notepad. What name I have to keep there? So the subnet name I am going to use, that will be maybe subnet. I have to not look for these actually. I will be looking for subnet ID here. So what will be the name actually? This one. We have to look for the VPC actually. So that one no problem, we will have a look at later on. Let me first continue with something else as well. So after selecting the subnet, because the subnet we will be having a look from there itself. Okay, what we can just use is this ID. Yeah, we can see from here also. So subnet ID, rather than putting this US East 1C, let's use this subnet ID. So choose any one where you want to create. Maybe I want to create at 1C, so the subnet ID is E48. Let me just start writing like this. Subnet hyphen E48. E48. Then what next we have? 7F0A9. 7F0A9. Let's just verify. So let us just try to verify these two things. E487F0A9. That's right. What next we generally require? When we go to next, add a storage, that are the default, it can go with it. Tag, if you want to have a tag, you can add tag also. Security group, whoa, really. So if you want to use any existing security group, we can go with any. If you want to go with default, you will use default name. If you want to go with this one which we have created, we can go with this one also. Okay, so the next question it may ask about the security group. Security group. So what I will use? SKSG01. All right. What else? Another thing is, when I already finish, I almost get to finish review and launch. When I click on review and launch, if you remember, I need one more thing, that is key pair. Oh, so we have to look for that. Do I have any key pair already, or do I need to create? Let me have a look at it. Key pair, because this contains the password of that instance. So I have already one key pair. Yes, what's the name? MyKey01. If you don't have, you will just create a new key pair, nothing else. So key pair is, what is the key pair? Name is MyKey01. All right. So this is what we were required only. Now let's go back to this dashboard. Running instance are how many? 0. So now we are going to perform a task from the command line of creating an instance, launching an instance from here. So let me just make it clear. What will be the command to launch the instance? Let's perform this task. So I will write first command AWS. I want to perform my task in the service EC2. I want to perform a task that is run hyphen instance. What I want to do is, I want to run an instance where image ID. What is image ID is, which image ID I want to use? This one, AMI. This is the image ID. copy and paste here a space, minus minus count. How many number of instance you want to run? How many number of instance we were willing to run? 1, a space. Which type of instance? Instance type. So I say here instance type, and my instance type is t2.micro. That's my instance type, a space. Now we require key. So key name, and what is the key name is, if you see key pair name, my key 01. Thereafter a space. Now next thing I have to also mention here, that is security group. So security group ID. Actually it looks for the ID. It works on the basis of ID. So what's the security group ID is? Let me check. I could have run actually in the command prompt itself, but let us check first in the graphic. So security group, and for this security group, this is the ID. So let me just get a copy of this name, group ID, copied, and I paste. This is the security group ID, a space. Next is the subnet. The final statement I am going to give is my subnet ID. My subnet ID is, what subnet I have copy, I guess somewhere, subnet. Yeah, this is my subnet. So this is command AWS EC2 run instance with an image, this one, count number 1, instance type t2.micro, key name I want to use mykey01, that's the key pair I have. Security group ID is this one, subnet ID is this one. Let's just hit enter and wait for a moment to get it done. Oh, something wrong. Let me just verify what is wrong here, what command I have used wrong. So run instance AWS EC2 run instance. So what is the error it is telling me? What a spelling I have used. Okay. I have to just perform a single change in it. The command I should use, not run instance. Let me use here instances. Then I hit enter. Now it is giving me error of key name. So now let's check again the command where I have done any mistake. Oh, yes. So between key and a name there is a hyphen needed actually. It should be like this. Hit enter. Now if everything is fine, it is going to perform the task. Yes, it is giving me the output in the JSON. It is going to create, and by the help of that instance ID is this, it has created, image ID it is going to use this, key name it has used this, launch time is this. Everything is going now well. You can click enter to see the more detail on it, how it is performing. So now my command is executing well and it is going to create the instance. Let's just wait for a moment and we will verify from this instances list here. We will see either it can create the instance or not. So let's just try to refresh, and you can see yes, it has created an instance, and that instance type is t2.micro. If I make it full screen, status still it is initializing. Availability zone is US East 1C, that is what we decided, if you remember. Then what other information? Security group it is connected with SKSG1. The key it has used is mykey01. Launch time is this one right now. So this way what we can see, it has created, it has launched an instance. What command we use finally? This is the command we used, and we succeeded to have an EC2 instance there. So this is the some of the other tricks, or you cannot call it trick. These are the methods we generally we can always have. What about can we list? Let's perform some more tasks. Can we list all the instances? Like here we see instances, not so. Can we list here? Maybe all, or maybe just I want to list about this instance. Can I do that? So let me copy this instance ID and I will use it in my command. So can I use a list command? Let's try to see. AWS EC2, and then I'm going to run a command describe hyphen, what I want to describe this time, instances. If you want to describe security group, you write security group. If you want to describe instances, type instances. And let us just filter also. So maybe I use here filter. I want to only see, maybe there are many number of instances, so I want to just filter the output with the name, or maybe if you want to create something, you can mention here some detail about it, like name, then you can define the query, then you can define the instance ID. So let me just hit even by this. What does it show? Now here you can see it has performed the task, and it is telling me that there is an instance running with this instance ID, which type is t2.micro. It is using image ID, this one. It is having the key name, this one. It is launch time is this. Monitoring is right now disabled. So you can see same information from here also, instance type, instance ID, the other information like here monitoring is disabled, AMI it has used this one. So exactly same output we are also getting from here. So now you can understand which subnet it is connected with, subnet E48, which VPC ID, VPC it is using which one, which VPC connected with it, architecture is which one, what's the device name and all. So now after this all, now very last maybe practical I want to perform that. We have created this instance, we have launched this instance. So why not to also terminate or remove this instance from command itself. So let's perform that task now. AWS EC2 terminate. Which thing you want to terminate? Instances. Terminate instances, space minus minus. Instance ID. What's the instance ID is? So you just need to know your instance ID. By command we have already checked, there is an instance running and the instance ID is this one. Yes. So we just get a copy of this name and we paste it here. So I want to terminate an instance where the instance ID is this one, and let's see here, this instance is right now running well. I am going to terminate it from here. So let's just hit enter, and that action has been taken place. If we refresh, we can see the output here also. Shutting down. Once it will be shut down, it will be terminated as well. Just wait for a moment. So once it will be shut down, it will be terminated, and that is what we perform the task, terminate instance, where the instance ID is this one. You see here, terminated. So this way we have performed some few tasks with the help of AWS CLI. We have used it for different tasks. Some task related to S3 service, some task with the EC2 service, and similarly it can be used for performing any type of task in any service offered by Amazon AWS. So that is what we have seen now, that how the AWS CLI can be helpful. Here are some of the notes I have here for your reference, how we access it. So we use the command and there we run the command aws configure, and there it asks for these 4 questions: access key, secret access key, region, and output, and then you get this prompt where you run the commands. Next is, here are the some of sample command I have listed for you. You can maybe pause the video and you will be able to have a note of it. You can execute it to have a practical related to S3 bucket, related to maybe EC2 services, how to create security group, check security group, launch instance. You can even manually add a tag to your instance, list your instance, terminate your instance. You will be able to now perform these all tasks there with the help of Amazon CLI. So this was all in this particular video, and I hope this video was informative enough for you all, and I would like to thank you for watching.